Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for our weekend weather update. I'm Philip Duncan. Well, we've got low pressure coming in this weekend, followed by a very large high next week and maybe another big low coming in for next weekend. So there's quite a lot going on, typical kind of autumn weather. Here's the animated wind map for the end of Friday, and you can see that developing low pressure system out in the Tasman Sea. It is coming in towards northern parts of New Zealand. There's a windy nor'easter ahead of it though. That comes in mostly on Saturday morning. It'll come right down around Auckland and Northland, just with a burst of wind. It'll be fairly localised, and then after that the calm centre starts to roll on in across northern areas. Elsewhere for Friday and going into the weekend, there's a bit of a windy nor'wester through Cook Strait, but a southerly change coming up the South Island on Friday is going to drop those temperatures a wee bit in some regions, and that southerly moves in towards the lower part of the North Island. But it has to run into that low, and at the same time the southerly is going to help deepen that low. So the southerly moves up to about the top of the South Island. It actually curves around as an easterly for many areas, but it is coming straight out of the south. It'll be coldest around Southland and coastal Otago. Into the North Island, you do have rain. Now the heaviest rain and the strongest winds are in the southeastern corner of this low, so it's in this area here. You can sort of see the line of heavy rain. It goes in that narrow strip up around Kaitaia. Already could be drying out, so it may not be a big rain event for everyone. Some people might only get a little burst of rain or showers and then it's gone, but other areas might have some very intense downpours that are quite slow moving, and you've got some very strong winds here as well, northeasterlies coming in over the mountains. Even though that's a southerly on that side, it just curves around over the mountains, so it's a wee bit of a complicated setup. Into Sunday, now the low itself hasn't changed, its shape is a bit stretched out. The energy is being sort of weakened, pulled out into a greater area. The heaviest of the rain on Sunday moves to the eastern side for the most part of the North Island. So Gisborne, Hawke's Bay areas. There'll also be some patchy rain moving down around the South Island caught up in this flow. But meanwhile, western and southern areas look mostly dry and sunny as we get to Sunday. So it is unsettled, but it's not necessarily a major storm. It's just some pockets of strong winds and some pockets of heavy rain. Everybody else just has the usual unsettled sort of stuff. By Monday, the low is still sitting there, but it's starting to get bigger in size. That is actually weakening it because it's not getting any deeper in the middle. So it's sort of stretching out further and further, and it's falling apart basically. So the rain clouds become a bit broken up. There is a high way off in the wings there, which is slowly coming in, and by Tuesday you'll start to see a bit more of that. You can see it out there near Sydney. Meanwhile, we've got a southerly flow here with a bit of rain on the outer edges of what was that low pressure system. So by Tuesday, this is sort of the centre. It's all being stretched out and falling apart. Generally speaking, there's a south to southwest wind around most parts of the country on Tuesday. And by Wednesday of next week, it's all being pushed out to the east. The cold air is all out there over the Chatham Islands. In comes the next high, and that high is coming in across Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, but the next low could be coming in as soon as the following Sunday. So there you go, that's the next week and a bit coming up weather-wise. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully it's not too unsettled where you are, and we'll catch you again on Monday.